So we will deal with the Mayor Eric Adams stuff today, New York City's mayor. I mean, I don't really know if there's more to be said. We've already established on this program that this dude was not a good human. We did that a long time ago when he wouldn't come up here and even have just a regular conversation about what was going on in the city, what his plans were. Mind you, he was on here 3 times before he got elected. He had no problem coming up here then.
And then literally...
But then when it was time to critique his work, he didn't want to come.
No, literally, not once.
Not one time.
Nah.
When it was time to actually get into the nuts and bolts of the work.
He broke.
Then people started stepping down. And then he still wouldn't come up. And now more people have stepped down. 4 more deputy mayors have stepped down.
I mean, you skipped some steps in there, but these are all.
Yeah, I'm oversimplifying. Yeah.
Because the reason they're stepping down, of course, is because the Department of Justice now has decided, after his friendship with Trump, to not investigate.
Well, and then attorneys that worked in the Department of Justice, they resigned because they were like, this is an actual solid case. There's grounds here for us to investigate. You're telling me not to investigate. And I won't put my career on this because this is not justice. This is a quid pro quo, clear as day, where Mayor Adams is doing favors for ICE and for what Donald Trump wants in exchange for not being investigated by the Department of Justice. That's a quid pro quo. And now Kathy Hochul's involved. But we'll play some audio of Eric Adams discussing this. And also likely ask you the question, do you feel like Eric Adams is fighting for his job because he's fighting for you? Because that's how he's framing it. And maybe you're out there, maybe you're like, yes, I feel like he's fighting for us, and so he has to fight to keep his job. Because the clergy people, the church leaders, and the older black folks that are standing up there praying with him, because they did the whole everybody put their arms on him and pray for him skit yesterday.
Wait, they did that too?
You didn't see though, everybody?
Yeah.
And it was all type of clergy. It was Catholic, Jewish, Christian. They all put the arms on him.
Yeah, man.
And guys, he's being investigated. Yes, part of it is because he upgraded flights courtesy of the Turkish government. That's in there. And fast-tracked building approval of the Turkish embassy. That's in there. But that's light work. That's like, all right, whatever. Bro took $10 million of taxpayer money and padded his campaign through straw donors. And by the way, the money was foreign money. So random people accepted wire transfers from the Turkish government or people in Turkey, and they took the money, donated it to his campaign, and then it was matched with city funds 8 times. That's illegal.
You're saying you can't do that?
You can't do that. People can't wire you money from foreign places for you to donate to somebody's campaign. To the tune of $10 million.
$10 million. American.
America.
What
Not
about,
good.
I just also, guys, remember, he's basically opening the doors for ICE to go anywhere. He's like, y'all want to go to churches and schools? No problem, ICE. You should be able to go wherever you want to go to find the bad guys.
Yo, did you see him on Fox and Friends with Tom Homan, the head of the guy that's heading the whole Border Czar thing?
No, yeah.
Where he was basically sitting there skinning and grinning, doing the grin and grip.
Yeah, but then didn't the guy say something weird? Like he would go be up there and be up his you-know-what?
Yeah, he said if Adams isn't, cooperative, we're going to be up his ass too.
Yeah, he said it right next to him. It was very weird. It was very weird to have him say that. And Adams was like, Yo, y'all don't think it's weird that the man ran as a Democrat and Trump, him and Trump have a love affair? No one finds that.
Well, he used to be a Republican. What are you talking about?
Oh, right. So
Trump's a New Yorker. He cares about this city. How dare you?
Right, New York.
New York. And he's a New Yorker. I think they're both from Queens.
Yeah.
They are.
I think so.
Trump for sure.
No, Trump's from Queens. Is Adams from Brooklyn or Queens?
I think Adams was Brooklyn Borough president, but I think he was from Queens.
Yo, do you guys remember when I came into work like 2 years ago, year and a half ago, and I said I'd read that long profile on Adams, and he literally is Trump?
Well, I remember you bringing up the profile. I don't remember you making that assertion.
He's just a storyteller. He
makes stuff up.
Yo, have you ever read the headline of what he says his favorite concert is?
No, what's that?
He says his favorite concert is when he saw Curtis Mayfield in like 1979 in New York. Do you know what happened at that concert?
That was when the light fell on Curtis Mayfield?
And paralyzed him.
Yeah.
Permanently.
Wow.
And your man's goes, that's my favorite concert. No, he goes, it was great up until that point. What? No, you can't. He just says words, bro. Like
oh, man.
No, Shawnee, he says that's his favorite concert.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The day the man got paralyzed. It was a nightmare.
Yeah, you probably right.
Maybe he's confusing favorite with most memorable.
Yeah, maybe memorable. He goes, oh, yeah. He doesn't know the difference between memorable and he just favorite. Says words, and his stories are always just everyone. After he tells a story, everyone always follows up with, the story wasn't.
Yeah, but Rosenberg, they're just attacking a black man.
Well, that's why you got to go back to the black church. You got to go home to the church where the people come for you, even if you're not representing for those people every day. As long as you show up in the church, people will make you feel like you're there for them.
Yo, why did Griff just put in the chat? Other than that, how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, that expression makes me cackle.
Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the show? It's crazy. No, it's crazy. That's literally the Curtis Mayfield. No, besides that, though, it was a good concert. The artist I went to see did ultimately get paralyzed, but it was a good concert.
Other than that.
And by the way, that might be facts.
It might have been fact. I don't know how long he played.
And also, Mrs. Lincoln might have actually enjoyed the play up until the point
when her husband got assassinated. Yeah, right in front of her.
Let's listen to Eric Adams try to defend why more people resigned from his cabinet. I got to hear this.
Come on, let's go back. When I was indicted, y'all remember what happened? People departed. When I was indicted, people said that's the end of the administration. People said that, people have lost confidence. And go back and do an analysis from the day that I was indicted to what we have accomplished. That is my ability to lead through turmoil, and I'm going to continue to do that.
So I think he's conflating things, though, because just because you've made good progress in the actual job does not mean you haven't broken the law and done things that are unethical. Like, both things can be true.
Also, I don't know that he's made good progress. All he was saying there is, look at y'all thought I was finished and I'm still here.
Right.
I thought he was talking about the work that he did.
No, all he was saying is he continued to keep the job, in my opinion. And all that does is remind us how hard it is, even when people do crazy things, to get rid of them. I mean, Donald Trump is president. The man was indicted on 36 counts and convicted. So all he did, this whole thing of look how I led through, bro, you didn't lead us through tough times. You know what I mean? Like this, like, listen, we all.
Well, listen, if we're being fair, let's be fair. The housing crisis of the migrants, that was a tough time for the city.
Still is?
And it still is. And we can't act like, Mayor Adams hasn't had to help manage that.
True.
So that's a super fact. And if you start looking at crime stats and these other things, like the gun violence and these things are down, we can't act like that's not on his watch.
Okay, fair enough.
Right, that's all I'm saying.
Is that true?
Still doesn't mean that stealing millions of dollars in taxpayer money to go to your campaign isn't a reason for you to be on trial.
Well, I just don't like the fact that you're acting like you can't do something, and then there's a reaction to the thing that was wrong that you did, and then throw your hands up and go, see how everybody's trying to take me out? No, my man, you did it. You're not a victim. He's acting like he's Jesus on the cross.
Well, slow down, Rosenberg. Don't bury the lead. He was in church yesterday.
Oh, of course.
Talking about Dr. King, Kampf, and getting prayed for.
That's quite.
You heard that, right? Let's hear the audio, Shawnee Culture.
I remember listening to some of Dr. King's teaching, and he talked about the book Kampf, and he indicated if you tell a lie long enough, loud enough, people would tend to believe it's true. And that's what you're seeing right now, modern day mind Kampf. And so we need to break this down in its proper analysis. One of the largest voices out there that is calling for me to step down is the public advocate. I still don't know what he does. Because it's hard to
they ain't going for Jumaane.
When you wake up at noon and then try to go
Said
out.
Jumaane say wake up at noon.
Step down, the public advocate becomes the mayor. So can you imagine turning the city over to him? That is the top reason not to step down.
Wait, the number one reason you're not stepping down is Jumaane Williams?
You have a job, you can go all over the city throwing rocks. The top person that said the mayor should step down would benefit if I were to step down. I love this city too much to watch him become mayor.
Well, I don't know if Jumaane's, quote, the top person asking for you to step down, because there are definitely people who have larger profiles than him who are asking you to step down. I don't know how you jumped from Mein Kampf, modern day Mein Kampf, to Jumaane Williams either. I don't know how you made that leap in that piece of audio that we just heard. But yeah, they coming for you, bro, for talking about this as a modern day Mein Kampf, a book about fascism written by Hitler.
I did look it up. Dr. King did once say that in a speech.
Yeah, it was in Rochester, New York, in a speech. It happened in New York State.
And he did apparently say that he read the book, but it has nothing to do with...
Are you trying to...
I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about.
Right.
Because the closest thing when I read that, it's an interesting quote that if you tell a lie loud enough over and over again, people will believe it. That would go really well with your friend, Mayor Adams, Donald Trump, and all the things he's done over and over again. But what does that have to do with Jumaane Williams and many others who have pointed out the illegal things that you're accused of doing?
Well, because he's saying that they're lying.
Right. And saying it over and over, and people are believing it.
But what I hear that's actually being said over and over again is that Mayor Adams just took upgraded flights and trips from the Turkish government in exchange for fast-tracking the approval of the Turkish embassy building. But that's not the entire case. They're omitting some serious things, which is the straw donors that accepted money from foreign governments and then donated to Mayor Adams' campaign, that then received an 8 times match from New York City. That's a big problem.
But he would say you're just repeating a lie over and over again, and there's no truth to it anyway, right?
Well, that's the reason people in the Department of Justice have stepped down, is because they feel like he struck a deal with Donald Trump to allow ICE all up in everybody's crevices in exchange for him getting his case
7 people
pushed to the side. Yeah, not 1.
7.
7. So I think this is not a modern day case of Mein Kampf. This is a modern day case of where there's smoke, there's fire. Because it can't just be everybody else, bro. That's what we're going with. It's everybody else.
And everybody who's talking about it now is a bad person who's making up a lie to get you taken out. And yes, Jumaane Williams would replace the mayor. So I understand why you could make him a target and try to make what he's saying sound loaded. But he's not the only person saying it. I haven't even read anything from Jumaane, honestly. I'm seeing it everywhere. Everybody's saying this. And has he ever answered to the exact charges he wrote? Does he have an exact explanation?
No, he can't speak to it because it was an open case. So I think he would have to be like, look, it's an open case. I can't talk about the actual specifics. But he says that he didn't do it. He says it's a lie. It's not true.
Does he understand why the people of New York City, who, I'm not talking about New York State, I'm talking about the people who elect Eric Adams, the people of New York City vote incredibly in favor of Democrats, right, including in this election. Those same Democrats voted for you for mayor. Do you think they should feel weird about you being in bed with the extreme right-wing president of the United States? Should that make people untrusting of you when you ran as a president? I mean, as a Democrat?
It might. Well, look, I think, don't we have elections coming up?
We do.
So I think you'll have the opportunity to make your voice heard. Because I think Mayor Adams is actually campaigning right now. So part of his, the reason he was getting prayed for yesterday by clergy members of all, denominations. There's a photo, it's a multi-ethnic, multi-denominational photo, all standing around with their arms, hands on Eric Adams' shoulders.
They look crazy.
I got to see this. I haven't seen this photo.
It's a crazy look. It's a crazy look. It's a crazy optic, bro.
He's in the center of the cipher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the center of it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they do. That's what, when you're praying for somebody, right? Everybody crowd around, put a hand on them.
But the thing that I find so odd is whenever I see photos of the mayor out in public, he's always glad-handing with, like, rich people in suits and then, like, artists. But whenever the ish hits the fan...
He's at the church.
He's at the church, and he's got 15 85-year-old black people standing behind him every time.
It's like a South Park episode.
It really is. Like, this man literally every day is doing one thing, and when the drama hits, the people around him change completely.
Where's the smoker jacket? Put that one on at the
smoker's jacket.
Where's my man? Where's my audio of Hawk Newsom? Bring up Shawnee, bring up my Hawk Newsom audio.
Oh, that Hawk Newsom.
When he goes, this ain't a black issue, this a you issue, bro. Stop bringing us into it.
Big up to Hawk.
Yeah, because when the things get crazy, it turns into a racial issue all of a sudden.
Every time, bro. Every time.
And I feel bad for the people who get used for it, because if you're an older person and you're in church and the mayor shows up, come on, man, it's like, that's nice. The mayor showed up to your church. You're going to show love. You're not realizing that you're getting used for an optic, for a weird clergy photo.